Recording the time you are seeing days. So this is Act of God's Captive into Call of the Captive's Diary, episode 72, season 3. Alright, so written by no other person but Precious Chinwe Obialor-Ukazim. So thank you for the person that answered me on the question I asked. But at the end of the story, we can have a little clue on based on the question I asked yesterday. But so let's continue. After thinking the whole thing over for some minutes, he drove out of the school premises and went home. That's David. Uma also left school an hour later when she couldn't concentrate on anything happening in class, and on getting home, she overheard Mrs. Precious talking on the phone with her father. No, sir. They told me they were going to check on him because after the attack from Josh, he left with blood gushing out of his nose, and they tried to reach him on the phone that evening to ask after his welfare, but his phone was switched off. They were worried about his welfare, and I had to allow them go to his place. Uncle, she didn't go to David's house alone. She went with Junior, and that was why I allowed her to go in the first place, sir. The whole professing of love was never in the plan. It just happened, and they are truly sorry. Precious explained. Did you just hear yourself say it just happened and they are truly sorry? When Amdi asked Precious rhetorically, then continued. It just happened. That's how fornication happens, and once it happens, they would be also sorry. Do you realize that girl is just 19 and doesn't know anything? I don't understand. 19, she doesn't know anything. Let me continue. She might have been a very good girl all the while, but at this point, she is now in the stage of youthful exuberance and will be willing to try out new things, whether good or bad. If you know you can put your eyes properly on her for us, kindly let us know and she will come back to Nigeria. Nnamdi frankly told Mrs. Precious. I'm sorry, sir, she apologized. I'm not saying you should tie her down, but you need to be more discerning now than ever. Monitor her with wisdom and become her best friend. I have instructed them to stay away from each other for now, and I need you to see it that they are not seeing each other until I come. We'll be in Birmingham tomorrow by God's grace for a convention which would run from Wednesday through Friday, and from there we'll stop by in Manchester to see you people. Uma overheard everything her father was discussing with Mrs. Pressure, and it got her even more upset. She walked past their door and quietly entered her room. She felt her parents didn't want her to date anybody despite having prayed and confirmed the will of God for her in relationships and marriage. So many thoughts were running through her mind as she lay in bed thinking of what to do if her parents caught David off again as they did with Joshua. I'm gonna date someone they don't know and keep it a secret from them if they cut David off from me. I won't even tell Mrs. Precious anything about you two. She told herself in a daring manner, but when she remembered that that's not the kind of life she wanted for herself, her heart sank and she felt like crying. On the other hand, all David was doing was sleeping, wake up, eat, then think and sleep again. He was very confident that himself and Uma were meant to be together and that nothing was going to stop that. His only fear was that Nnamdi may tell them to stay away from each other until she is done with her studies, which looks like a very long time for him, having gotten so close to her. It's my fault, David said. I shouldn't have professed love to her yet. At least we could have remained friends and still be seeing each other, communicating on the phone and hanging out together instead of staying apart. He couldn't stop faulting himself. Maybe you two shouldn't have gone to report yourselves. I mean, you're both adults and old enough to take responsibilities for your actions. It's not everything you do that should be reported. The thought that had been coming to his mind, which he's been suppressing, came up again and he had to resist it. Oh, stop it, he blurted out. There's no way I was going to build the foundation of our relationship on secrecy and rebellion. Nah, he maintained, believing that he did the right thing regardless the consequences. Mrs. Precious was not aware that Uma was in the house until about 3 hours later when she entered her room to pick something, only to find her lying under the sheet and she was taken aback. Oh, we, she interjected and called her, but she didn't answer. She pretended to be asleep. Precious, however, did not stop there, as she wanted to be sure that all was well with her. Mama, she called, removing the sheet from her head and tapping her gently on the shoulder to wake up. And she had no option than to open her eyes. Are you okay? She asked, and Uma nodded in the affirmative. You came back quite early today. What happened? Precious inquired. Nothing, I'm fine. She replied, you don't look fine. You look so pale. Have you had something to eat? She asked her. I'm not hungry. I just want to sleep, she replied. Okay, I'll just leave you to sleep, okay? Said Precious in a caring manner, covering her body and hoping that by the time she wakes up, she would feel better. Uma, however, did not get up from the bed till 7 p.m. and she ate nothing, and that was when Precious became really concerned. She did everything to get her to eat, but she refused and would not leave the bed. Even Junior did his best to get her to get up and eat, but nobody in the house, including Pastor Peter, was able to get her to eat. Nobody. By the following day, she was running temperature and still would not eat anything. She did not eat anything. Oh my God. This is, I don't know exactly what to call it, but there's something kind of confusing in this episode, which I don't understand. Should we say that Unamdi is not taking the matter the right way, or it is Uma Sinachi that is overreacting, or just getting angry, or what exactly is the problem? Because at some point I want to think that maybe Unamdi is actually getting too hard, and at some point I want to be like, Uma Sinachi, you did something wrong and you are being corrected. You shouldn't get that angry. Yes, it's a tough one, looking at the fact that the two of them are in love. But what is the case right now? Is it that it is Unamdi now that is taking the matter overboard, or what? Even with the way he spoke and shouted at Precious, my heart was like, what is it? I wanted to start blaming Unamdi. Never reached that level now. And him saying that a 19-year-old girl knows nothing. That one I don't understand. I don't think I will accept, because there are some things even she know that he himself no know. So him saying that Uma Sinachi does not know anything because she's 19, I don't think that one will go a good way. But anyway, I don't know exactly where to put my hands to place my thought right now. But I'll leave you guys to leave that thought and put the thought for me in the comment section. Till we'll see tomorrow. And thank you for the person that answered that question. God bless you. Obedience is hard because it goes through a hard process. Yes, it's truly a hard process. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that answer. God bless you. And see you tomorrow. Please don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comment section. God bless you and have a blessed day. Bye bye.